What up, guys? It's your boy, the Iconic Knight, and welcome back to another video. Here we're going to be talking about The Last of Us 3 and the recent news that, unfortunately, it does not look like the series is going to continue. They're not looking to make another one, it seems, and this is from the words of Neil Druckman himself. Neil Druckman has recently stated that we might not be seeing The Last of Us 3. So according to Screen Rant, this could be it. Neil Druckman apparently confirms there's not going to be a Last of Us Part 3. Despite the ongoing success of the Last of Us franchise, with 2 successful games and a popular TV adaptation, it's apparently been confirmed that The Last of Us 3 won't be happening. When it was originally released in 2020, The Last of Us Part 2 launched to general success, but also a significant amount of controversy. And we know exactly what they're talking about when they're discussing the controversy in The Last of Us 2. In a new interview, it says, with Variety, Last of Us writer Neil Druckman has apparently confirmed that there may not be another sequel, saying, "Don't bet on there being more Last of Us. This could be it." So not total confirmation. Druckman's statements indicates that a prospective Last of Us 3 isn't likely, even after the launch of Naughty Dog's upcoming game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which was announced at the 2024 Game Awards. I gotta be honest with you, man. This is disheartening. This, for me, is personally disheartening. I am very, very, very huge Last of Us fan. The franchise means a ton. It means a lot to me. This is one of the most impactful video games in video game history, I believe. And it really elevated the bar when it came to storytelling, gameplay, just presentation, all that. Last of Us 1 is an absolute masterpiece, and contrary to all the popular hate for Part 2, I think Part 2 is a masterpiece as well. I think Part 2 is a fantastic game. Gameplay-wise, elevated it from Part 1. Story-wise, the story works for me. I know it doesn't work for most of the community. I know it doesn't work for a lot of people who played The Last of Us 2. Because the choices that they made were definitely tough choices to make in terms of creating a narrative that made sense for the player. But for me, it's based on the world that they built in the first game. And when you play the first game, you are fully understanding of the fact that The Last of Us doesn't take any prisoners. Nobody is safe, and not even the main characters. So what happens to certain characters in Part 2, and I'm just going to talk about this spoiler-wise. The game has been out for quite some time, so if you're looking forward to the show or never played the game, the second game, then you can cut the video off here. Just understand that I am disappointed. It doesn't look like we're going to get more Last of Us 3, or more Last of Us, excuse me. But if you're not worried about spoilers, then keep watching, because I'm going to discuss spoilers in 3, 2, 1. When it comes to Last of Us Part 2 and their decision to kill Joel within like the first hour and a half of the game, it was super, super fucking ballsy. But for me, it made absolute sense in the world of The Last of Us. In a world that, again, takes no prisoners, in a realistic post-apocalyptic survival game, you have to fully understand that your characters are never safe. You have to fully understand that there's stakes there. You know what I mean? When Joel died, it means that anybody could die, right? Because he was the protagonist of the first one. So you're, in your mind, you're like, no, he's safe. We're gonna go through him, or we're gonna go through this journey with him and see how he and Ellie make it. I thought he would die, but I honestly thought that he would die at the end of Last of Us Part 2. So to kill him in the very beginning of the game was extremely ballsy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before in gaming. It was shocking. It wasn't extremely shocking because, again, there was leaks that happened right before the game released, and they leaked kind of all this information. A lot of people were hoping that it wasn't true. Then they played the game, and it ended up being true. And for me, it was just severely impactful. It resonated with me. It resonated with me big time, and that speaks to the fantastic work that Naughty Dog did developing the character of Joel and Ellie. Because if those characters were bad, nobody would care. You know, the controversy spoke to how much they actually cared about the characters, which means that the characters were held to a really high standard and high regard. Joel, in my opinion, is one of the best characters ever written, not just including in gaming and, you know, including TV and film. I think Joel's a fantastic character. I don't think they're getting Joel completely right on the TV show. It's definitely a different iteration of Joel. But Joel, the video game character, Troy Baker, man, just phenomenal work. Making Joel likable, making Joel, you know, scary. The dude's got a fucking just internal rage and a ferocity about him. And yeah, man, it makes Joel just top tier character. So when they killed him the way they did, with who they did, you know, you got to use this brand new character that you've never seen, never heard of. You're at the initial start of it when you're playing as them, you're completely confused as to who the fuck they are. If you don't look at the leaks, then you know Joel ends up saving this character's life just to have the tables turned on him and have this character that he saved take his life, because you find out that Abby, being the daughter of the doctor in the first game, the doctor that Joel kills on the operating room when, you know, Ellie's about to have the surgery, you find out that that's Abby's father. So she's been hunting you down for the last couple of years to exact revenge, and you kind of fell right into her hand. So it was an unfortunate end to a fantastic character, and that's where really a lot of the controversy came from. It felt unearned to a lot of people, but it's the world of The Last of Us. Again, the world of The Last of Us takes no prisoners. It doesn't care about who you are, what your feelings are, or plot armor. At that point, when Joel died, it told me that nobody was safe. Ellie's not safe. Dina's not safe. Jesse's not safe. Tommy's not safe. Maria's not safe. No single character in that world is safe, because that world is as gritty and close to reality as you're going to get in a context like a post-apocalyptic fucking America. So it made sense. I didn't like it. No one liked it. But over time, I understood it. You know, I understood Abby's motivations were quite clear. Joel killed somebody she loved, so she was going to exact revenge. And then that puts Ellie on the same path. Abby killed somebody that Ellie loved, so it put Ellie on the path of revenge. And then when they finally get to that fucking climactic fight at the end, you've spent so much time with Abby because they make you play as Abby for 10 hours. Midpoint in the game, you stop playing as Ellie, you switch to Abby, and you go through day 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Seattle. You learn her story. You start to develop her as a character, learn what she likes, who she cares about. She starts to develop emotions and care for characters that she didn't think she would care about. And it really fleshed out her character to a point where at the end, again, I was rooting for both of them to just not fight each other. I wanted them to be friends, and it was a great arc for Ellie to learn forgiveness. You know, she was able to forgive. She struggled with forgiving Joel for a long time, and she struggled with that right up until his death. So it was powerful for me that she forgave Abby in the midst of everything. Her taking someone, the only person that she really fucking loved on the earth was Joel. You know, that was like her father figure at that point, not including Dina, but Joel meant everything to Ellie, and for him to be stripped away while they were at a low point, and then her to forgive the person who stripped him away, for me was really powerful. I think Abby's a great character as well. You know, contrary to popular belief, I think Abby and Ellie are masterfully written characters, and I think The Last of Us, in time, The Last of Us 2 will definitely get its flowers. It's a masterpiece on storytelling, game design, game mechanics, and yeah, to me, it's one of the greatest games that's ever been released. So it's really unfortunate to hear that the series won't continue. Factions seems to be long gone as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the Last of Us Part 2, although initially was planned to be. Then they kind of stripped it to the side, made it its own project, and then it just it just got clipped at the end of the day. So, according to Neil Druckman, we're not going to see any more Last of Us in video game form at the very least. They'll still continue to work on the HBO show, and we'll see how that lives up to the Last of Us game, and see if it's a worthy competitor or kind of a worthy mirroring. See if it's on par. But those are my thoughts on this news. Hopefully, I hope to God that we do eventually get a Last of Us 3. And I think maybe someday it will. Maybe before the next generation, or during the next generation of, PlayStation 6 when that comes out. Naughty Dog will probably drop that banger. So here's hoping. But let me know how you feel in the comments down below. If you want to see another Last of Us, if you're done with The Last of Us, if you don't like The Last of Us, let me know how you feel down below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. There's more content on the way. And you already know, as always, man, I love you. Jesus Christ loves you. God bless each and every single one of you. Peace.